All right, so we back. Like I said, this is the Bear Facts podcast under the Bear Canvas Tattoo and Piercing Studio, the Bear brand. Um, get my props together. Uh, like I said, the studio hopefully will be coming soon. I'm not sure. We gotta deal with different things that we shouldn't have to deal with. I can't, you know, just sit here and talk is right. And the Constitution gives us freedom of speech. And as a social worker, we, we fight and advocate against oppression, and that's oppression of any form, glass ceilings, sexual oppression, um, criminal justice. But having said that, like I said, we're coming to you impromptu. I woke up with some thoughts on my mind, so it's been a while since full podcast. And like I said, it's preliminary content. We're working on trying to get everything for what we're trying to get. Like I got a lot of stuff, but like I said before, I still got some stuff to get, and I'm still trying to find the space. But right now, the finances ain't there. But you know, so I'm coming to you live from the lab. You see the DJ booth kind of it's the preliminary structure of the DJ booth. Like I said, I wanted to put a facade in front of the DJ booth. I wanted to put like the L shape with the other desktop here on this side, and maybe put some LED lights. Like I got the TV behind the camera angle on Zoom, and it has the LED lights behind the TV. Now, that's what I was going to do, but I also wanted to put up put a platform on the floor for whatever reason. That's just my vision. If you go on the YouTube channel and check out the video for the rendering of how I want the studio, you can check that out. Now, what I decided on doing after that, and I might change my mind again because like I want the DJ booth like when you walk in the door, and then it's going to be on the platform, and then I was going to have the futon for the waiting area in front of the DJ booth. Now I might change my mind because I was thinking of putting the backdrop since this will be raised, and I want stuff behind the DJ booth like if and when I set up the account to get like the fitted hats and the snapbacks and stuff like that, I want that behind the DJ booth. And then you'll be able to see the backdrop anyway, and that's what you're supposed to see on the podcast. Like I said, hopefully it'll be me and a couple co-hosts, but that's what it is. But with that preliminary stuff said, like I said, I woke up with some stuff on my mind. It's not the first time I was thinking about these things. I've had this discussion with other people over the years, but not many. But it's just my opinion. It's just my thoughts at the time. Like in society, you got different types of relationships, and everybody's entitled to their relationship. I was on Facebook, and I saw a post. This was like last week sometime, and the person was talking about how they posted something talking about how they basically said their opinion on somebody else's relationship. Now I could care less, but like I'm a playful dude, so my response was, well, you could always close your eyes and mind your business. Then whatever you see won't bother you because you won't be in somebody else's business. Um, so that was my jokey way of saying mind your business, and their relationship won't bother you because their relationship ain't got nothing to do with you. Now, I've had the previous podcast, but I've had a couple podcasts, the chemistry versus attraction. And in relationships, I think that's important. It's just a viewpoint. Like for me as an individual, I believe that chemistry makes the relationship stronger, makes it work better, and able to get through the ups and downs. You have set common mindset. You have common goals. You have a lot in common. You love each other's endearing qualities, and that's unique to everybody's every individual. Like I was in one relationship with a young lady, and like she would do this thing with her lips, like I don't know, like she would do this thing with her lips. I'm not. It wasn't sexual at all, and I don't know. It was just something I like. Like I don't know. It was like it's different in different situations, but the things that people might see as quirks or nuances or uh as neurotic or whatever, like uh you gotta love them qualities. And if they get on your nerves, then maybe that's not the best situation for you. But that's like for me, like I say, I'm saying this, but at the end of the day, it's like I know how I would like my relationships to be. So like I'm saying, to me, the chemistry versus attraction, like I said, like in that Drake song, uh I guess it's Grease. I'm not sure when he says if pretty don't come with something, well then I did it. And like it's been a lot of people that I've been attracted to. It's been a lot of situations where I've really liked the person and really wanted it to work out. And it was like it just fizzled out. Either we just like were bored as hell with each other, and like and that's a different type of view too, because like some people will always think men are just dogs and men are all messed up, and it's like sometimes like it's a mutual thing. It just didn't work out. Like, and that's where I'm coming to. Like, I forget what the other podcast topic was, but that's my thing with that was the chemistry versus attraction. Because some people can stay in a relationship because they got the sexiest man alive, sexiest woman alive, the trophy wife, trophy husband, and they might be getting in domestic violence situations and stuff like that. And like again, that's none of my business. Like if you're in my office, that's my office. I don't want to get into that, but that's still none of my business. And even in my office, I gotta stay impartial. I don't have an office now. But like I'm saying, like that chemistry, I feel is more important than physical attraction. Like, yeah, and I'm not saying that physical attraction don't play a factor. Physical attraction draws you in, but it's that chemistry that I think, like, makes it work. I'm gonna say makes it work. I'm not gonna say makes you stay in a relationship because, like, if a person's out for clout and the sexiest man alive, sexiest woman alive is the town uh popularity person, then that's what you want, I guess. Like, like that's another thing for me. It's like, what do you want out of a relationship? Like me, I'm used to being independent. I'm used to doing for myself. I'm used to doing like, so I really don't want much out of a relationship, just loyalty and affection. Like, what I mean? And affection can be different to different people. For me, like I'm a silly person, so I'm a playful person. And I'm with females very physically affectionate, but that's what females like I'm involved with. Like I don't touch people other than that. Like, that's just my thing. Um, so like I'll be saying, like, and I'm saying, don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to judge nobody. I know that my views ain't everybody's views. I'm not saying that like some people can last forever in a toxic situation to the outside world, but no matter how many battles they fight, they love each other. Like no matter how many times people cheat on each other, they love each other. Like I don't. Again, that ain't my business. Like me, I'm a more laid back person. Like I'm work all week and big binge watch weekend. I don't really want to leave the couch. I'm on one end of the couch, you on the other end of the couch with your feet under your ass, and we watching uh Stepford Wives. I don't know. It's a joke. Don't quote me on that. It could be Animal Kingdom. I don't know. It could be Oz or Power. I don't know. Whatever. Don't don't. I mean, anyway. So that attraction like is cool. It draws you in, like I said. But I think that chemistry, and like I said, I'm not going to get too far on that. because that was a past podcast. Now, and that's what I'm saying. That's when it comes to the podcast, like I want to be able to have these conversations in like a group format, whether it's a duo or a quartet or whatever. I'm joking, but whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, because I think I like to bounce these conversations off people. I like to have these dialogues with people, but it's only me for right now. So this is what you got. And since I got the time, you got me. Anyway, so and even with that attraction, like, I was in the same situation, and like, and this isn't to make fun of the female. Like, I had a lot of respect for her. I was deeply in love with her. It didn't work out, but like, yeah, I mean, I remember like one of the first times, like, we were getting intimate. She was like, make love to me, and I'm like, don't raise your hand. I'm not putting you out there. I ain't say your name. And and internally it confused me. I'm like, huh, huh, I don't know what that means. And like, I'm joking, but like, it threw me off. Like, I was in love with this girl. This was probably the first time, maybe the first, second, or third time. Like, this is the first time it took like a long time before we got to that physical intimacy part. There might have been one other time where it was like a couple weeks, but like, and I'm not trying to be like a Don Juan smooth. It's just like, I feel like if you know what you want and you down for what you want, you things happen. I'll put it like that. And like, for me, I'm never going into situations, especially with females, expecting anything. Like, most of the time, I'm shocked and pleasantly surprised that it goes down the way it goes down. But when she said that to me, not to get off on the rant, because you already know we're not going on a different subject. But like, when she said that to me, it threw me off, and I'm like, huh, I don't even know what you're talking about. But the funny thing is, like, I have had that conversation both internal dialogue and with other people, where it's like, when it comes to that, like, physical intimacy, I do feel like, feelings and that attachment do make the sex better. Like, I've had different types of relationships. Like, I've had straight 9 to 5, meet up at night and chill and rarely go out relationships. I've had wild, adventurous, exciting relationships. I could say I've had an open relationship. I guess I wasn't really allowed to do nothing. That's why I call myself the Tuesday hoe. But it's just like, and like, that's just the thing. Like, not to be on no wild sex stuff. It's just like, for me, like I say, you structure your own relationship. You're involved with who you're involved with. It's not a relationship by committee. People going to have their opinions, which they shouldn't. Mind your business. But it is what it is. Like, um, you fall in love with who you fall in love with, whether the outside world considers it toxic or they consider it healthy. Like, it's none of their business. And like, it's not on you to judge me or my sex life or my romantic relationships. It's not on me to judge you. I don't go home with you at night. I don't care less. But with all that said, it's like, I'm saying, like, when it came to, like, it threw me off the first time, and the sex definitely did get better because, like, it was a bunch of different factors. It wasn't her. It was none of it. All right, I'll take that responsibility on myself. Like, I'd be single for a while. I'm not an ugly man. I just be in this crazy situation with this talk that we talked about. But anyway, they're going to OJ some season on that. I'm scared from the life. But anyway, um, the situation got, I'm gonna say, the best. Leave it at that. I don't care how you feel. Like, I've had some great. I've said in the past. I think all my relationships were good. Like, I've had 5 relationships, and for me, like, from like a young boy, a young age, like 13, 14, whatever, I was like, yeah, like, I mean, not to be on no Don Juan smooth shit. It's just like, I'm gonna play the field, I guess you would say, until I find the perfect situation for me. And like, that's what I'm getting to, because like, I don't feel that's a disrespectful thing. I feel like, uh, I think especially at the age I am, we grown like, and even as a young boy, I'm not saying be promiscuous, but like I'm saying, like that's another thing I want to touch on, like the promiscuity and slut shaming and stuff like that. But that's later. But for me, I just felt like it would be healthier to get to know people in various ways, whether it was like, I've had that conversation. I've had that conversation with females. Like I've had a lot of conversation with females, like especially again at the age I'm at. It's like I've heard like females have come straight out and said to me, like, if the sex game is whack, then this ain't gonna work. Like, you know what I mean? Which is crazy to me because for so many years, especially when you're young, it's like, find the person you love and settle down and, love them like for life. And like, I guess I don't know if it's our like generation X and on, but it's like, and like like I said, I've been in 5 different relationships and I had strong feelings for them people. Like I planned the future with them people. I thought it was going to last with them people. It didn't, but like, don't cry for me, Argentina. But at the same time, it's like, casual sex. Like my whole thing was like I always said to people, like I've never led people on. You get what I'm saying? I've never led people on. I'll admit like there was one situation where it was an asshole thing, but I'm pretty sure it still wasn't as and again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or nothing like that or seem like the best guy. It's just like I know what I want out of different situations. Like and that's where you get with the friends with benefits and then I upgraded to the next level of the women friend. um we'll get into that too because I'm sure I explained it playfully, but I'll get into my definition of that too. But like my whole thing is like I'm saying, like, when it comes to sex, like when it comes to relationships, it's, I feel like you gotta be compatible, you gotta have a mindset, a shared mindset, and that makes things like a well-oiled machine, however you like it. If you like that Eminem, Kim Mathers, toxic, and I'm not judging them I'm playing, but that constant love is battlefield love, then that's what you like. Like I know chicks will come out and tell you, like, I love the drama. I love the drama. Some of them say I love me, some sad. I like them gripping me up and then some people won't say that, but like every time you see them, they got a story to tell. And like I said, I don't judge that. That's your situation. Like some, like for me, it's like I don't know. I might bore the hell out of you. Like I might like love you to death, but I might bore the hell out of you. And I don't know because I'm not a mind reader. But like I said, people got their situations, and it's none of my business. And I don't want to keep saying that either. But that bit really what I'm really trying to touch on is that sex without emotional attachment. Like I said, I've had that conversation, and that's where I was going with the last relationship or a relationship I was in where the chick was like make love to me, and I was confused at first, but like I definitely I learned I try to learn from different stuff. I forget what he says. That's my man Jay Z. I don't know him personally, but that's my man. And he says, even in defeat, there's a valuable lesson learned, so it evens up for me. She requested something else. I'm not going to get into it. And I was like trying to compute this in my skull, and I'm a pretty intelligent person. And unfortunately, I didn't get it till after the relationship ended. But like I said, I was told, like, after while the relationship was progressing, and I could definitely tell anyway that the sex was getting better. Like, it definitely had ways that could have made the sex better, the relationship was better. And that's another thing I was talking about with the whole I've talked with chicks that was like, I mean, if the sex game ain't good, then the situation is dead. And for me, that's surprising. But at the same time, like I said, at the age we in, like nobody want to play games. Nobody want to be running around playing games. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Some people do. Some people do. I can't speak for everybody, but my whole thing is what's your end game? Like my end game ain't to play games. It's like my end game has always been like I've said in the past. Like if I found the person I wanted to be with before I lost my virginity, we would have been together this whole time. And I'm not a cheater. Like I'm not going to get into that. That's a different rant. But I'm not a cheater. I have cheated, but that's not my traditional character. That's not because like me, I'm focused on other goals. I want, like I said, I want somebody that I know is going to be loyal and somebody I know that's going to be affectionate and playful and stuff like that, or at least get my playful jokes. Like, like I say, like I joke about that and say, like, I'm not going to be with you. I'm not going to cheat you. The most you got to deal with is my like playfulness. Like, you're going to be like, sit your ass down. Like, stop playing all that time. But like, I'll be serious too. Like, you know what I mean? But that's more business related and field related and stuff like that. Like, and I say it like that because, like, when it comes to a relationship, it's like, there's many sides to me, but I don't have split personalities. Like, I got that hyper energetic me that's playful, bouncing off walls, jovial and stuff like that. You got the business minded, like analytic, like, you don't want to play with that dude. You got the dead dude. Don't resurrect him. Please, I'm begging you. Leave him dead. And then I don't know, you got the Netflix and chill me and heavy on the Netflix. That's that, big binge watch weekend. Get it in 3 times a day. Maybe not at all, but you don't leave the bed, you don't leave the couch, you stay in your bed clothes. That's for me. That's the best thing you can do on the weekend besides work and earn extra money in a fully committed relationship in the afterlife. Yep. They call it adulting. If you have a past life, you're in your afterlife. Um, so like I said, it's just like, me, like I said, find your perfect situation. And like I said, I was getting to the sex without attachment. Now, I visit that topic because, like I say, like it is different nowadays. I guess like it's different for me as an adult. It's different for me as a middle-aged man. I guess reaching the apex of the hill on my way down. It's different for me not wanting to play games. Not like I said, for me as a young boy, it was like, yeah, all right, so I'm a meet people, feel them out, and if it don't work out, it don't work out. But I won't lead them on. I'm not going to tell you I love you to get in your pants. I'm not going to. I'm gonna be myself. Like, I'm not going to be ignorant. I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm not going to like. If anything, it's going to be like, all right, I'm a mirror of what I see. Like the Isley Aaliyah song, like at your best. Like, I'm a mirror of what I see. So it's like I'm not phony, but I'll be respectful. You get what I'm saying? So, and when I say that, it's like I'm not going to be phony. But if you're a hood joint, then I can be more relaxed in my language. I'm not going to be trying to carry guns. I know sell drugs. Those that do that, they don't do that. But my language will probably be more relaxed. If you cool with come over here, if you, yeah, I mean, then I hit you with like that's cool. Like I going to hear some f bombs, going to hear some marasacas, you want to hear some bees and stuff like that. Like, but if you not that type person, I respect that. Like, even it like, and don't play the games because I'm gonna see through the games. Like, if you be this, fuck that. Excuse my language. Marasaka this, marasaka that, then don't be like, yo, pull out your potty mouth. Like, I'm like, I told you before. I'm gonna look you straight in the eye and be like, marasaka, all bitches hoes more than anybody. Don't talk to me like that. But anyway, but I can feel you out. Like, I'm a good judge of the person. Like, and like even with that, like I'm never going to be disrespectful. Like, and like I say, I'm not trying to be the perfect man. I just am who I am. Like, I guess I had the behavioral conduct disorders. Plus, I got my parents. I mean, like, they respectable baby boomers that tried to instill values and morals and all that stuff. Not to be uh tongue in cheek or slapstick or whatever like that. But like, that is what it is. So, and like my mom was very affectionate. She was affectionate all of her life, and my dad was the silent, strong type. So that's me in a nutshell. Like, I'm not too physically affectionate with kids. I don't like dudes touching me, but like I'm affectionate with women. I'm very playful, and yeah, I mean, and that's in a relationship. This isn't professional. Like, I'm I am approachable, even though people think I'm not. Like, yeah, man. Like I tell people, even if you're staring at the back of my head and you think, oh, he's a menacing and scary, I don't know. I don't be knowing because, like I said, I ain't a mind reader. But when you start talking to me, you'll see like my face light up and you start smiling and like fucked up cheese grill teeth come out and stuff like that, and then my cheeks will get big and my eyes will get small, and that's the thing. But like I'm just saying, like for me, with that whole mindset, it was like, all right, feel the situation out. If it gets physical, because a lot of times it would get physical, but yeah, like I always felt, and that's a different thing too, because like I've never felt like I pressured anybody into having sex. Like everybody that like I said, I was in 5 relationships. I'm not going to tell you how many sexual partners I've had. Like I'm not going to do that because I don't know. I don't know if that's disrespectful to them because they're one of many. But and I don't mean it like that either. Like just like for the last 10 years minus one, I've pretty much been celibate. So I'm pretty sure there's people that have way better numbers than me. Like I'm not ugly, but I'm not like the sexiest man alive either. And like I'm fat, but I'm not like the earth. So it's like I mean, like I've seen people go home, but anyway, that's nothing. But like I'm saying, like I've had the 5 relationships, and they were to me they were great relationships. Like I hate to keep saying the same thing. But when it came to feeling people out, like I felt like it was a mutual thing. Like I don't think I can I don't I'm not a mind reader, but I definitely feel like nobody can sit there and say like I disrespected them, I conned them into getting into their pants. I took advantage of a situation that was we hanging out, we getting close, we getting physically affectionate, and things happen. I've never heard like I've heard people just like I said with the make love to me situation. I've had people say that you know early on, like I might have been selfish at sex. I probably didn't care enough at that time to wonder what the hell that meant. But I found out. But that was early on. That was teenage years. So that was teenage years. But still, and I'm not like I said, I'm not promoting promiscuity. Like I'm promoting to find the right match. Where if you like sometimes people get me confused. Like, I'm not saying go out and have sex with everybody that you meet. I'm not saying I judge you if you do. Like, if that's what you like to do, you're adult. You do what you do. I that's where it comes into the conversation about slut shaming because it's like to me it's like, and that's what the whole sex without attachment too. Like if men go out and have, and I'm not anti-men, I'm not pro-women, I'm not anti-women, I'm not pro-men. I'm just saying. Sometimes I play devil's advocate. I analyze stuff. So, like for me, it's like men could probably have sex with 1,000 females if they could, and they would love it. And they might not be attached, emotionally attached to any one of them, and the world understands that as a social norm. And when I say that, like I said, I'm not slut shaming or anything like that or saying anything like that. I'm just trying to provide a basis. Like, I think for males, I'm not saying in a predatory way, like males are just out for the hunt, club them over the head and drag them into the cave, prehistoric style, caveman style. I'm just saying to get an understanding of what I mean, because I think that's a universal, unspoken social norm. Excuse me. Um, that they say men are dogs and all that stuff like that, and like you see it in pop culture, like females are being more dominant with their sexuality, and I don't have a problem with that. Like there's I guess religious aspects, but that's a different conversation altogether too. My whole thing is like I'm saying, like you gotta find what's right for you. And like I said, some people you're attracted to, some people you want things to work out with, but the chemistry's not there. And that's me. I can't speak for everybody, like I said. But like I'm saying, like if you have sex with somebody, sometimes it's just about physical attraction. Sometimes it's just about physical intimacy. Sometimes it's just you just want to get that physical sensation, like, and that's males and females. And like I said, I don't know if it's a generational thing or a generation divide since the crack epidemic and Generation X and Lost Generation and baby boom or the millennials and Z's and stuff like that. I don't know. Sexual revolution, women's lib. I don't know. I playfully say that. Don't. If you send me hate mail, I'll read it. If you hate in the comments, I enjoy it. Like constructive criticism, I'm gonna do that. I put too much. But anyway, so like I'm saying, like I forget what I was saying, but so what was I saying? I'm lost here. I don't know. I don't want to pause for too long. Like I was saying, the club them over the head stuff. I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying, like, in different situations where you would think that, like, okay, I met this person, I'm attracted to this person. Some, like I said, males and females, they might not even be thinking long term. Is this going to work out? Like, I think sometimes both people are thinking, like, I just want to enjoy the night. You get what I'm saying? And that's where situations I've been in usually have, like, I ain't gonna say usually, but like I've had more casual situations than I've had relationships because I take my relationship serious. And like I said, I'm not somebody who sets out to cheat on people. Like, that's not my thing. Like, my thing is I got this girl, this is the girl I want to be with. Nothing turns my eye like that. Like, it's weird. Like, me in a relationship is completely different than me single because it's like when I'm single, I'm trying to find somebody to settle down with and be with. So like if I see somebody I'm attracted to, like I might approach you, I might not. I might check you out, I might not. But like if I'm in a relationship, I'm probably like deeply in love with that person and nothing turns my eye, like nothing. And I'm not saying nothing's interesting because we can still have a conversation, we can still work together, cohabitate and stuff like that. But it's basically you don't got private parts. Like that's just me. And like it's funny to me because I've had dudes like question my sexuality about that. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to go home. My wife's waiting. No, not wife, not legally binding wife, not common law wife, but I'm about to go home and my wife's home. Like, how's that gay or something like that? And no disrespect to the gays, this is the conversation of the teasing, the ribbing, and it's not like I don't find it disrespectful. It's ribbing, it's a roast. Like, but my response is going to be like, excuse me, I'm gonna be like, bro, I'm going home. I'm going home. Like, what are you saying? Like, she's at home. So I'm not having the mania at home and getting with 100 different chicks. And I'm not criticizing what you do, but if you come at me, it's like, oh, I'm going home. I have the sweet smell of roses at home. I don't need to bring sand to the beach. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a perfect person. I'm far from a perfect person, but like, and I don't think anybody's relationship is perfect. It's just, what's perfect for you. Like, what are you getting out of the relationship? What you want, or are you miserable in the relationship? If you're miserable, why do you stay in a relationship? But like I say, we want to focus on the sex without emotional attachment. And like I said, I started with the males being promiscuous because I think it's a more commonly looked at thing. And I believe that, like, even females gotta, you don't have to, you can really get to know somebody and stuff like that. But like I said, like, I've had those conversations. I've had those conversations with women that said, like, yeah, I'll give you 6 months of bad sex, but then after 6 months, you got the good. And then I've had some people that be like, no, from the rip, if the sex is whack, there's better private parts out there. And my whole thing about that is like, all right, so if you in that get to know you phase, and I've had that conversation too. I've had that with plenty of people. So don't raise your hand like, oh, he's picking on me, he's putting my business out there. No, I've had that conversation, especially since Steve Harvey's book came out. Um, I've had that conversation, and like with me, I've had that conversation and I understand that conversation. About to bring the conversation up with the whole, if I have sex with you tonight, you're not going to respect me tomorrow. And I can understand that. Like I said, I understand it. So I can defend it because I know me. Like, sex the first night ain't going to determine whether I'm going to call you the next day or not. Sex the first night ain't going to determine that. Sex the first night, and you might not believe me, you might. Sex the first night ain't going to determine that. It's not going to determine if it's going to develop in anything, or if it's not going to determine that. It won't either. Like I said, a lot of times, somehow, some way, like throughout my experience, like yeah, I've been in those situations where I've had like not one night stands, but whether it's the first night or second night, we ended up in that physical intimate situation. And like a lot of times it hasn't ended there. Like I don't think there's very few people I've only had sex with once or twice. I think I don't know. Maybe the female will tell you something different. I don't know. But I think more often than not, it's probably been multiple times, and then it fizzles out. Like I said, I believe that's because like I've had situations I'm sitting here telling you where it's like I'm attracted to this chick, I like this chick, and then we sit on the phone for 3 hours and no conversation. And for me, like I'm saying, that's me. Like I can't answer for everybody, but for me, that's a big deal because, like like one, I don't like the awkward pause. So imagine a 3 hour conversation like this. Shoot. But like I said, that's that chemistry versus attraction conversation. So, like I'm saying, like when it comes to that, it's like, all right, so now you're 6 months in, and now you found out you got some whack. Uh, Situations going on there, and now what you do. Like I've had that conversation, like because I think like for me, like since I've had the conversation, I've heard the conversation, I've seen the conversation, like podcasts, talk shows, whatever, it usually ends with there. But it's like, okay, so now you're in love with this dude. You've been in this relationship for 6 months. You feeling the ball. He's everything you wanted. He's Prince Charming. He's thuggish, ruggish bone. He's whatever you want out of a relationship. But it's whack. And now you're like, I done invested all this time. I done lent them my car. I done cooked them dinner. I done invited them to family dinners and all of this for no fireworks in the bed. Now, that's when my question to you is, all right, so it's 6 months and you got whack sex, and now you have developed the feelings that you might not have had day one, but you were feeling the board day one, depending on your situation. Because, like, that's, we going to get there too. But it's like, all right, so now you invested all this time, and does that really fizzle it out? And it's funny because some chicks will be like, "You damn straight." I'm like, "How do you do that?" Like, even I've been in that situation where it's like, "All right, I don't want to play games. Like, I'm done. We over. This is not working. The games is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a straight up, straight. I'll be straight with you. You should keep it straight with me. I'm hold you down, whatever, whatever." Whether that was a mistake attitude or not, I gotta be joking with myself. I'd be saying like, I fix my mistakes from the past. I just make new mistakes, and I'm not intentionally making mistakes, and they're not big, explosive asshole mistakes. But like so that was my mindset. And but the problem with that was like, no, I still have feelings with this chick, like whatever it was, and it was stupid shit. But I'm so used to games being played, it's like I don't want to play games at all because then I'm gonna go do something stupid on my own. So like, yeah, I mean, so that was my mindset, but it never got to me doing nothing stupid on my own. Besides keep in that mindset of, all right, I'm done with the games. This is dumb. But like, especially since it was so minuscule of whatever the situation was, it was like, yeah, I mean, And like like I said, I'm not the type that's going to argue with you. I'm just going to shut down and either walk out or go in another room, and that's it. Like I always say, like I'm the type that'll admit that I'm wrong. But like if you just want some gaslight, no, I ain't doing nothing wrong. It's like, okay, we're done. All right. And like I said, before that situation, I would have went out and did something stupid. Like, and I found like that, like doing something stupid don't help nothing. Like I don't know if I said that before. Like I was in that situation and I was thinking about doing something stupid, and I ended up going talking to her, the chick, and for whatever reason, like that felt better. Like, I know the reason I was in love with the chick. Like I knew that after a different relationship, like it was a great night after me and the chick broke up, but no, it was empty. It was hollow. It was like my feelings was with her, and but in this situation, I'm gonna put it like that. And it didn't solve anything. It didn't make it anything worse either because we were broken up. It might have, but like I mean, like it might have. Like there were, I wouldn't say consequences and repercussions, but there were things that happened after that situation, after the situation. So, like I said, I try to learn from those type of mistakes, even though that wasn't the mistake. Like cheating would have been a mistake, but that was after the fact. But so it's like, yeah, I mean, I might have, like, yeah, I mean, been in a situation where it's like, all right, I think this is the end. But it was then we weren't spoken. It was just a shutdown moment. All right, I'm done. I mean, what's wrong? Nothing, nothing. I mean, no point in talking. Uh, and I thought it was over, and I planned to go do something stupid. But like I said, I don't know what made me like I was working in another state, a half hour from my crib, 45 minutes from her crib. And I left work, went straight to her. It was like, and we sat on and stuff and talked. And we didn't. And I left there with her mad at me because I confessed what I had planned to do. Because, like, at this point in life, like I say, like, I'm an open book. I'm not really trying to do no stupid shit. And I'm just trying to be honest. Like, it don't really matter to me because I'm not up to nothing. It was different situations where I was just trying to be honest. Like some people, because I've heard the numbers and I've had the conversations like, oh, you were trying to rub stuff in her face. Like, no, like I didn't do anything wrong. Somebody might have hit me up and I just wanted her to know from me and be honest, like nothing happened. I tried to shut it down, like, but no. Anyway, it was just like I'm saying, like I got there and I went through that situation and it was like, even though I left with her mad, like the feeling I felt sitting on the step just talking with her instead of doing something stupid. And I know it would have been stupid because, like I said, that would have probably really ended the relationship at that time, even though that relationship is done now. And not only would it have ended the relationship, that even though, like, yeah, I mean, like, I ain't even gonna get into all that. It was like I wasn't trying to disrespect the other person. It was just I ain't gonna get into all that. But it would have been at that point hollow and empty because I was in love with this person, and like that's what I was saying. Every time we got into it and I shut down or walked away, it was like, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, the feelings are still there. The feelings is like heavy, like still there. But I'm a dude, like I'm not an emotional dude. Like relationship me is different from any other me. Like, but it's not a split personality. You know, you fake clinicians don't be out here diagnosing people. You don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, um, so like, and I say it like that because, like I said, I'm honest. Like, yeah, I mean, like I've said that in previous podcasts. Like, the chicks I've been with, I ain't gonna say I still have feelings for, but like, I know through certain situations, like if I heard that something happened to him or somebody did something to him, like I know that dead me's gonna come out. Leave him dead. Um, but it's other situations like I see pictures or whatever like that, just scrolling through, cheating on scroll down. Check out that comment. It's funny. Anyway, it could really happen. After I made the comment, you gotta see the comment. I'm not gonna explain it to you. I seen a story on like Entertainment Tonight, E News, something like that. I don't even watch them shows no more, but something like that where a chick was getting her back blown out, at a bachelor party, and somehow some dummy that was trying to sabotage the relationship obviously put it on social media. Like, how do you put that on social media? The live porn, I don't know. And her friends are all around. They throwing money on her, and she on the couch. We're not going to get into that. I'm just that's the real story. I don't know if you can look it up or not or whatever. But so he broke off. That was a bachelorette party, and he broke it off. But anyway, so like I'm saying, like the reason why I get into all that is like I said, when it comes to those feelings, like there is a difference between that emotional attachment and that emotionless sex. And that's really where with the precursor where I'm getting into with this rant. It's like I've known, like I've said, I've talked to chicks, I've talked to dudes have the poker game, the cigar lounge conversation, the bar, date room, the barbershop conversations all day. But I also have conversations with the chicks and other coworkers, people in the street. Uh, and when it comes to emotional attachment, it's like I'm saying, like some people believe in casual sex, some people believe in it, some people hate it. I just know, like I'm saying, like I'm a pretty good read of character. Like I've been, like I said, I've been in different types of relationship. Like, and some people be like, "How can you do that?" But that's just me. Like if I'm feeling you, like the how we define the relationship really don't matter to me. Like I'm feeling you, like, and I trust you, and I want to trust you. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like whether we're monogamous missionary 3 times a week, or we're outgoing, or we're open swingers. I don't know. I'm joking. That's not really. That's not what I'm looking for at this stage in my life. I'm looking for the couch partner, couch potato partner position. But and just like I said, somebody I can trust, and I can go out and do my ambitious entrepreneurial goals and work in the field and wake up at 8, go to work at 8, get home at 2 in the morning with a dry private part. And you trust that, and I'm always come home excited to see you. I'm gonna come home excited to be in you. Like I'm not like that wandering. I do. Like I said, I've had situations where it wasn't an open relationship, but it was liberal, super liberal situation. But like my whole thing is, I was whoever I'm with. Like I don't know. I might be overconfident, and I don't know if I discussed that before. Like me, I'd be like, if I know you feeling me and I know you love me, I feel that. So I think that you would that would be reciprocated. Now, after situations end, sometimes during the situation, people be like, "No, I'm just a jealous person," and that's cool, I guess. I don't know. Like my whole thing is, I ain't doing nothing. So, like, I mean, in certain situations with a young boy, like I still feel I was pretty faithful, but mistakes were made, and mistakes were made. But at the same time, it's like I'm not really interested in anybody but who I'm in love with. Now, if I've had situations, not to be on no Don Juan stuff, where I might have met like a couple of random people, and randomly those couple of people end up coupling with me. Um, and like that was years ago, Charlie Murphy. But like I'm saying, like the reason why I bring that up is that again, sex without emotion. Like I said, I've been, and the whole reason why I'm doing these preambles, like I've known people that I know without you saying it, I know like you need to be in love to open your legs around and zip your fly. Like I know from people, I don't judge you. Like I fell in love with one of like a couple of those people. You know what I'm saying? That's monogamy. That's what it is. But I also know, and that's why I brought the men into it first. I've known other chicks that'll tell you like I'm running through dudes. I don't really care about you. Now sometimes they've been of, like a trauma survivor, and other times they just like they enjoy sex as much as men do. You get what I'm saying? They enjoy the physicality, they enjoy the sensation, they enjoy the and like I said, that's a topic I want to discuss with a panel of people, like the difference in masturbation between men and women. Like I don't know, because at this age, like it's still kind of taboo for men, and even I put that in the comedy segment. I haven't performed that. I want to do that like at open mic night. I got some rehearsal time, and I still got to learn stuff. But when it comes to like women, like I I had like after a certain age, I haven't been with a woman who hasn't had a sex toy, if not a whole sex toy drawer. And like I'm not putting anybody out there, don't raise your hand. But like I've had those conversations with women I wasn't sleeping with or in a relationship with. You get what I'm saying? And like for men, like I know growing up, like there was like a taboo. We don't talk about that. It was certain culture. It's culturally, I'll say it like that. Culturally, it was like either a joke or nah, you nasty. And like even with that, like even a man talking to a woman, like man, like I don't know how too many men that's gonna be like, yeah, I really like I wake up in the morning, rub one out. I go to sleep before I go to sleep at night, I rub one out. But like, chicks will tell you straight up, like, I got the sex toy drawer. If you can't get me off, I'm gonna get that for myself. Like, it is what it is. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to that emotional attachment, like not everybody is there. Like I said, I've talked to people that really I know, I can clearly see, even if you want to fake the funk, no, you gotta be in love to have sex. And then there's people that have no emotional attachment. And like I said, that's why I brought the guys wanting to sleep with 1,000 women into it, because like I know guys that be in love with their chick and still cheat. I know guys that will do what they do, like, yeah, I mean, and there's no hurt feelings. And like, I've known girls that'll tell me, like, whether not in my office, but like, yeah, I mean, they've said before the office, like they go home and cry after they have casual sex. And it's like, all right, you shouldn't be having casual sex. But, I've known people that females that own their sexuality. And I don't want to I'm saying, I'm not trying to slut shame or anything like that. And when I say that, I mean, like, if you go home and cry, I don't want to shame you into saying, like, stop having sex. Like, sex is, like, I don't know, like, I think for guys, like, and I can't speak for every man, but I think for guys, like, when they say fucking and making love, it's like, yeah, I mean, like, all right, there's the sensation, there's the enjoyment, there's but I don't know, maybe it's like that for guys because guys are normally a 99 out of 100 times guaranteed to reach completion. I don't know if I've heard only less than 90+% of women have reached completion throughout the world. Like it's a global statistic. You can look that up. You know. So, there's that. But I don't know. Maybe but still, I think women enjoy sex. Some women don't. Some women have told it. I'm not going to get into that. But a lot of women have told me that they don't even enjoy sex. They just do it to make their husband and the person they're with happy. And even that's a bigger conversation. Like, is that because they're just a piece of feces? Like, is it just you're with this person because they look good, but they don't make you feel good? Like, what is it that keeps you from enjoying that physical intimacy? Is it because it's just fucking and they just come lay on top of you, tell you get on top of them? I don't know. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just like, I ask those questions. Like, I'll be curious. I'll be interested in knowing, like, what is it that makes you not like? Is it just, like sex? I don't know. Mhm. Like I've never in life heard a man say I don't like sex. Now I've heard girls say they don't like sex, and then they get into a relationship with a guy and they have sex every day or every time they're with each other. So it's kind of contradictory to me, or maybe they found somebody that they love that much, and that's where I get to that emotional attachment. And I don't know. I don't know because maybe they were just lying to the guy from the rip. I don't know. I don't know. I've talked to people that, like I said, only have sex to make people happy, and it's like, okay, my name is Tariq. I'm a Libra. I'm happy all the time, but I like sex. That's a joke. Anyway, these are true conversations. These are real thoughts, real. But like I'm saying, like And that's what I'm saying with the slut shaming. Like, men are man whores anyway. Let's keep it real. Like, that's what they say. Men are dogs. Like, I feel like I'm a male dog. I'll let you finish. But like I'm saying, like it's a different type of dog. Like I'm loyal. I listen. Uh, I'm not going to say I'm trainable. I'm pretty well trained. You know, man, you can't upgrade what's higher than number one. Um, I'm joking. That's a Jay Z line. Like, but I'm just saying, like, that's the stereotype for men. Like, men are dogs, men are cheaters, men are this, men are that. And like, I'm just saying, I've never in the 40 years I've been on the planet heard a guy say, I do not enjoy sex. Never. Not even in Lifetime movies when the dude was like sodomized as a kid. Not like I'm making light of the situation, but like that's a joke. Don't therapize me. Don't I mean, anti-therapize me. I'm joking. That's a fictitious person, but like I'm saying, I've never heard of any man say that they don't like sex. So, like, and I get it. That might be a deeper issue. There might be some childhood trauma. There might be some trauma. There might be that I want this attachment and you treat me like shit situation. I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe they. I don't know. Like, if you just don't like the physical sensations, like I guess, like either you've had bad physical sensations or that's something that you gotta discuss. I don't know. And like I'm saying, like I definitely get the whole emotional attachment making shit better because that's a prime example. Because like when you in love with somebody so much and you like are more physically affectionate with that person than you would normally be, or you're turned on when you see the person, or you're happy to see the person, or the person gets totally turned on when you see them, um, or like there's different things like but there's different things that can result in that change. I guess I don't really know, but mm. But basically, I want to stick to the slut shame. So we're on that right now. So with the slut shame, my whole thing is like I mean, like I always say, it's a double standard, and in certain situations, majority of situations, I don't like double standards. So equality, dude. I don't like double standards. Some situations, like I know there are cultural beliefs, and I don't go against cultural beliefs. And like I know there are even American traditions that I could say, I guess, are dying, or certain cultures and American cultures might not appreciate, might look down on. I don't know. I'm not a moderator. I'm not trying to judge anybody. Don't get in your head. I'm just saying, because this is a freestyle. I'm just saying, like, like I don't know, like I'm somebody who will hold the door. Like if I'm going in the door of a place or a building, whatever, a room, before somebody, and I don't care if I see you down the hall. Like the only time I might not do it is if I don't notice you or if I got something on my mind and I'm preoccupied. But on the traditional or on a regular day, it's like if I see you down the hall, I'm gonna hold the door for you. If I see you getting out the car, I don't care if you're on your phone and finishing a cigarette. I'll probably wait until man or female, or male or female. Uh, I've had occasions where I've opened doors of cars for females. I've pulled out chairs, whatever, whatever. And some people look at me like I'm a strange monster. I don't know. I don't care. But like I said, that goes back to that lost generation rant where most people probably weren't raised with a male in the house, or their mom was male and female, or they were raised in a certain environment that didn't breed that. And like I said, I'm not judging that either. Even though that's how I was raised, I was spending most of my life in other situations, like I mean, just chilling while get my chill on because your house is more relaxed. You know, that's a joke. Don't get any feeling. But like I'm saying, like mm, my whole thing is like if it was up to men, we would run through any and everything we could, and don't start the line. Don't be like, babe, you're in bed. It doesn't speak for me, babe. I'm not saying you'll do it in that relationship. I'm just saying if you could, you would. And I'm not encouraging promiscuity. Like I said, it's just like if you're a female, my whole thing is that slut shaming is what causes that feeling of guilt, that feeling of shame, that feeling of now, like I said, I'm not promoting promiscuity. I'm not saying sleep with people you're not comfortable with sleeping with. If there's a situation where you are undecided, I would say don't do it. And like I have to say this little interlude. Don't try to use my words against me because I can see through it. It's one thing if we chilling together, like I don't like doing these little PSAs. Like I can see through it. Like if we chilling together, I'm not gonna force myself on you anyway. I'm not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to do anyway. So like I can see through you trying to like, you know what I mean, and like if you read Steve Harvey's book, that's all good. And if you want to try new things, don't try them new with me. Like just be yourself. Like that's all I'm asking. Like just be yourself. Like if you see this, don't be like, oh well, he said he's not gonna. But like my whole thing is we're adults. Like if you're turned on, I'm turned on, and we make an adult decision. We make an adult decision. If I make a move, if I try to see where these boundaries are going to be enforced and you enforce them, I'm going to respect that. Like I said, don't use my words against me. Like if you was down to get down, but you want to play games or something gets in your mind or somebody gets in your ear, like don't play games. Like I can see through it. So don't be like, oh, he had an attitude because I went have sex with him or he asked me to leave because I wouldn't have sex with him. No, I can see through games. Like I'm a great reader people. I can see through games like a savage. So like I mean like my whole thing is don't play games. Like don't act like Reek switched up. No, he saw through the BS and he thought you were leave. Anyway, that was a little PSA intermission. But like and like I'm saying, like I said, I'm not a perfect person and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but don't play games because I did that and whatever. Like don't go spread rumors because you was playing games. Like don't remove yourself from the equation. And like I said, I'm not trying to slut shame. That has nothing to do with slut shaming. To me, that has everything to do with either somebody in your ear or somebody in your ear that's sort of fucking up your head for when we are together. And now you want to play games and enforce boundaries that you don't even want to enforce. Like I'm saying, if it's a organic situation and like I test boundaries and you're like, no, no, you can play it here and playing, but you can't play that. It's like, all right, like even if you like, okay, you can kiss me on the cheek or you can put your arm around me, but like, yeah, I mean, I respect that it's all good, like, yeah, I mean, but like, and like I said, I've never gone into any situation with a specific end game. Now, I have noticed through this hiatus of conjugal visits that there was a pattern. Like I'm a pretty touchy feely dude. Like I said, I don't go in with a game plan. We just in couch bay positions, and I'll get to rubbing and touch because I can barely sit still from moment to moment anyway. And one thing leads to another, but it's never like I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna nipple on the chick's ear to get her, there, and then take advantage of that. No, that don't be my style. I'll be focused on the same thing you focus on, the TV. It's just I'm a fidgety dude, and you might, like my fidgeting. I don't know. And I say that, like I said, not to be Don Juan smooth, not to be like, oh yeah, I'm one hitter quitter. No, no, it's not like that. It's just like, we be showing one thing leads to another. And like I said, I've never felt like I led anybody on, and I never felt, and uh, I know definitely, I never go into any situation with a game plan. I never go like, yeah, I'm getting these draws tonight. Like I've never said that to myself. I expect the opposite. Like that's what I'd be expecting. I'd be expecting unless we're out of the game, don't play the games. I'd be expecting like people to be like, oh, why are you unbuttoning my pants? Why are you taking my bra off? But those boundaries don't ever, like I said, I'll respect those boundaries. And like I'm saying, on the flip side of that, if things do go down like they have in the past, it's like I'm not just going to be like, oh man, I hit that. Like me, I'm not that type of dude. Like I'm not saying I'm better than nobody. I'm not the type of dude that's going to be like, yeah, I hit Quanisha last night. Yeah, that, yeah, like I don't, nah, you know what I mean? That's not. I don't know. It depends. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I don't think I've ever done that in a situation where I definitely was trying to see what's up. Maybe in this like humbug pop up like hyper moment where I might come home with the party and we have a party. I might be like, yo, some unbelievable stuff happened, but that was a decade ago. But like I said, it's not about like trying to take advantage of the situation. And it's definitely not trying to be like on some Don Juan smooth stuff. Or anything, I'm just enjoying somebody's company and the TV's going and I'm fidgety. And I listened to that next song earlier. I was in the shower. Too close. Check it out. So some situations just lead to different situations, but like it's on my part. I can't speak for every man. Like I say, it's never, oh, I'm just trying to see what's up for tonight. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it works out like that, like I say, but like, I still think that's a mutual thing. I think, like I said, I've had situations where we had sex, like, had sex a couple times, and then like, there was just nothing. It was just like, and sometimes I'll be disappointed. Like it's like, oh, like this chick is fine. Like I'm hoping things work out. Like I'm hoping she got good head on her shoulders. And like I can't put it all on the chick. Like maybe I talk too much. Maybe I don't talk enough. Because like I'm saying, if we don't have that common interaction, that common mindset, like I don't know. Like I've had times where I was on the phone all night with somebody and I could never get a word in edgewise. But the thing is, I'm a good listener, so that really don't bother me. It's better than awkward pause for me. I know people can take the awkward pause. Like that's usually the time where I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna hit you back. Um, don't play games. And then there's times where I never shut the hell up. Like the last person I was talking to, like I was highly attracted to him, but it was like I don't know if it turned her off that I was just always ramming. Just I don't know. Like I'm at this point where that's the podcast. Like I'm just ramming. Like I don't know, and like I mean, like I was attracted to her. Like I thought she was a very attractive female, and I really wanted to see what's up with her. But like I don't know. I don't know if she thought I rammed too much. I don't know if I felt like she didn't talk enough. I don't know. But like, and it wasn't my intention to stop calling her or nothing like that. It was just like I'd be like, I don't know, like like especially when I was on Instagram, you would see me every 3 days, if not more often, doing something different as far as with studio equipment for the future, just to keep it fresh in the mind, just to put content out, just to have that preliminary content available, even if it's just slapstick, weird stuff, like just having like I don't want to oversaturate, but and I don't have a co-producer, so don't get on here with your little computer games. But like I said, that's why I started because I didn't anticipate not having a full time job for, and I know this is off subject for 14 months, but that's why I started to do different unveilings of microphones and DJ booths because like I haven't been seeing the DJ booth in a tattoo studio, but that's what I wanted. So that's what I got. Like I put this together. That was on Instagram. This John, I still gotta do different things with that. But whether it was that, whether it was the POS system, whether it was the website, whether it was the other website, like I was trying to even like I said, some of the stuff I had for like 4 months before I even got on Instagram and YouTube and all that. Most of the stuff, 90% of stuff I had. So like I was 90% of this the way there then. So I didn't anticipate it taking this long. So I was doing different things and I don't even remember the point of it. Back to the topic right now. So like for me, like, when you look at the double standards of promiscuous men, I guess so you would. say, like, I don't even know if people would recognize that as a term, promiscuous men. I just think the common thing is men are dogs. And then you say promiscuous women, and like, or call them sluts, trans whores, thotties, that whole over there. That's the first time I heard that. That was, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. But I don't know. Like for me, like I'd say, I'm like not a real judgmental person. Like I'm like probably the most non-judgmental person. Like the only thing like I might judge, like I'm not even going to get into the one thing. 'Cause that's not my business, and I don't care. I just don't understand it. And then just annoying ass motherfuckers. Excuse my language. Like, if you're just annoying, like I got the joke. Like I think I've been on here. Like I came on the Instagram and was like, how you just so aggravating? You know ice cream when you're walking on the room. Or Jesus wanna mount up with 12-man militia and like get rid of you. Like you're annoying. Now, other than that, like I can care less. Like I guess like and when I say annoying, like judgmental people, like people that think they're better than people. Like it's funny because people say that I give that aura off, or I give that vibe off. Like I'm like, no. If anything, I mind my business way too much. Like I don't be knowing what's going on most of the time. And when I'm knowing what's going on, it's like, okay, you're gonna see me sitting at the table, sitting at the bar, sitting wherever. I'm like, I'm listening. Okay. Like it's like I'm the encyclopedia of hood stories, but I don't be caring like, and you ain't gonna hear me repeating this stuff neither. Like, it's stored, but it ain't my business. So like, I heard about it. And- and- So I don't know. I just feel like I'm a very non-judgmental person, and I'm real playful. And we don't do that just because I'm playful. Like, don't do that. Run up on him. Run up on him. I bet you him bust your ass. I'm joking. I've committed to this. I'm not going to commit to going to jail or doing something stupid. I try to stay committed to that. That don't mean run up on me neither. Because at this point, I'm snitching. I'm a full blown legal citizen. At this point, I'm snitching. You need to get legal me alone. Anyway, I'm joking, but I'm just saying, like, I forget what I was saying. I play too much. But when it comes to like that said, like that promiscuous women label, like everybody's an individual. Everybody does what they want. God gave us free will. You don't enforce your will on me. Like if a female likes to enjoy sex, let her enjoy sex. I feel like there'll probably be less people that are going to be going home crying because they're not going to be felt like they're getting judged as a slut or a whore or a fatty. Like they just going to own their sexuality, do what they want to do, and be comfortable with what they do. They're not going to be ashamed. They're not going to be humiliated. Stop doing that. Like I said that before, and I know, like I said, these are barbershop conversations. I'm not gonna hold my tongue. Like I just feel like, yeah, I mean, like this is my feeling. These are my views. I had a conversation with my cousin the other day, brother, cousin, whatever you want to call him. And it's like I can understand. That's how I view any conversation. Like I can respect your point of view. I definitely want to understand your point of view because that's just who I am. But even if I don't agree with your point of view, I'm not going to throw a hissy fit because you don't agree with me. I'm going to present my view and I'm going to absorb your view. And I don't mean adapt to your view. I'm going to take in and get an understanding of why you feel that way or why you won't change that view or why you don't want to change that view or whatever. Like, okay, all right, I understand. Like I can respect that. And we have a difference of opinion. Like I get you. It's nothing at the end of the day. Like I still respect you as a person. If I respected you before the conversation, I respect you after. If I didn't have respect for you before the conversation, I might not even have a conversation with you. Um, um, I might just because I like dialogue, but I might not because like I don't even respect you anyway. But like I said, like, it's very few people I judge on that type of time. You got to be real nutty or really judgmental. Like you must have just met me and thought you knew the whole biography about me, and it's like I don't deal with people like that. So my whole thing is you got to give people a chance, and that goes with the whole relationship thing. Like whether you're monogamous or promiscuous, it's just nobody wants to be judged. Nobody wants to have the community or the committee and they involved in a relationship. If somebody goes to you for advice, counsel, uh, a shoulder to cry on, lean on, that's one thing. You say you state your piece, you give your opinion, whatever. They take it, they leave it. Because that's how I am. Like if I'm with a homie and he's saying something, I really don't care. It's not my situation. I'll give you the most logical. I'm like a Vulcan in that way. I'll give you the most logical advice I can think of, but at the end of the day, that's just situation. So I really don't care. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, that nigga this, that nigga that, excuse my language. Now, or that shit this, or fuck that, go play baller. Every time I turn around, they try to go with my homies' finances. They say, let it go. So, think of that something here. Finish school, working on a career. I'm joking. Anyway, um, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, these freestyles. Like I said, I would like them better to bounce off people, but that's just how I feel. So I'll be thinking like, if there was no like slut shaming, I can't guarantee that. I'm not, I didn't do any scientific testing on that. I didn't do a quantitative, qualitative study to see the variance in the significance. But that's just how I think. Like if you want to be that type person, and I'm not talking about promiscuous, I'm talking about monogamous. If you know that you're the type of person that can like has to have that emotional attachment, I still feel like you gotta find that right situation for you, or you will be in a relationship where you might be following this dude around. You might be waiting at home by the phone. You might be, and it could go vice versa for a dude too. You could be like breaking down the bar door looking for Wanda, like where my wife at? I don't know. Like when it comes to relationships are always going to be complicated. There's two people that are independent trying to cohabitate a situation, and you just got to find somebody that can zig when you zag, and somebody that knows like your insides and outs, can accept your in, idiosyncrasies or whatever the word is, your neurosis, your quirks, and appreciate and love them, or you're going to be in a situation where you might be going home crying because, like, you got sex with this guy and you have put your feelings in there, or the guy has put his time, energy, and finances. Because it's a different thing. I think with men and women, I think like I this is the conversation I would like to have, the dialogue we should be having. Like, is it like guys put up energy, time, and money, and girls put up affection, support, and love, and shit like that. You know, um, who wears the pants? I don't know. But like I'm saying, I just think like to avoid certain situations, if you know that you need that emotional attachment, make sure that's going to be reciprocated. If you feel like nigga, and this is like my chick Rihanna said it best, and that you needed me, John. Like she just know. I don't know. Drake, Drake, Drake. I don't know. Remember, I don't know. I'm joking. Drake. That's my I'm bright skinned to the imitation of Soldier Boy with the Drake. That I don't know, that whole interaction was funny, but anyway, um, just need to know what she could be she could have a Grammy, still treated like a nominee. Just wanted to know what it was like. So one time is fine with me. I'm joking. Drake. I don't know, man. You're here the moment. You're here to crack things. Anyway, um, with You Needed Me, John. Just another brother on the hit list. Didn't they tell you that she was a savage? White horse and carriage. She never could imagine. I don't know. I'm joking. Anyway, Drake. I be playing too much. Anyway, I don't know. So I'm just saying, like, I've had those conversations or various conversations, and I would like to continue these conversations. And hopefully, when I have a panel, females on it, males on it, two males, two females, one female, two males, two females, one male, whatever. Because I know males have like a different viewpoint. I think it would still be like I think it would be like a humorous conversation amongst males and a lot of tongue in cheek stick jokes and stuff like that. And I think it would be probably more grounded with a female, but still, and more of an in-depth dialogue with like, nah, man, and that inner situation, males and females, whatever. That's just my opinion. Depends on the people, I guess. It depends on who you're talking to. But like I'm saying, like I'll be all over the place with the freestyles, and I'm just saying that perfect situation. Like I hate that I repeat myself so much. I'm gonna have to get to edit in these drawings. But if you like, I've had those conversations where like, and it's funny because I've had situations with a certain type of female that was D with just running through dudes, and like I was added to the stable. Luckily for me. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, and the funny thing is, like, and those, like, one of the situations was after I broke up with the chick, years after I broke up with the chick, or she broke up with me, or we just broke up. Um, and she was like, "No, this game stuff ain't for me. I'm not with it. I just want the physical, and I just run through dudes, and nobody can tame the beast." And I'm like, "Well, good luck with that." Like, because, like, at the end of the day, I still love the person, but like, that ain't my chick. At the end of the day, that ain't my chick. I'm looking at this weird situation going on over here, but yeah, you know. And then I've had another group of situations where, like, I can't say that, like I said, I've had a situation where I know the person had to have films for you to be intimate with you. At least that's how she came off to me. And then I've had other situations where it's just normal monogamous stuff. And then it was like I said, the other group. And then the one situation was post our relationship where she was running through dudes, and then the other chick added me to her stable, and I was her Tuesday help. So, mhm. So like it depends on, but I guess like that's a deeper conversation too. Like with this new trauma informed situation, like I don't know, but I don't know because like if you're happy with what you're happy with, you don't want to change until you want to change. Right? Whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. Like I've had that conversations. Like it's crazy. I've had conversations with I don't know the nice way of saying it. I've had those conversations, and this is not in my office. This is I've just like I've known a wide array of people. Let's say dancers outside the strip club that like or have to do extras. And I say it like that because for one of two different reasons. Like it's the same thing. Like I've had that conversation with people, and I'm not giving strippers a bad name because not everybody does extras in the club or outside the club. Um, I'm just saying it like that because I'm not trying to just be on some type stuff, but I've talked to people and design people that I usually accept extras from. Sometimes extras go down that I did not request. But in that case, I don't see them as an extra. I see them as a conscious decision to, because you know. But got your picks. Drake, like I don't know, like that goes back to my comedy John with who's that Lucky Charm nigga? Oh, that's just Money Mike. He's a little super pimp. Uh, Lucky Charm ass nigga. Like he's looking magic, delicious. Like, well, you got picks anyway. So I'm just saying, like in conversations with those people, like I said, I don't judge people, and I've had conversations in my office, but we're not talking about that. And outside my office, where people are in the adult profession, I guess that I was looking for there's a name for it other than like the kind of name for it because I don't know this less oppressive language attitude, and like I said, I'm not judgmental, so like I know drug dealers, I know adult professionals, adult entertainment professionals, and some people loved it. Some people loved it. They bro, bro, like I'm doing everything you could dream of, bro. Like, okay. And then I've talked to some people that hated it and felt like it was the worst job that they've ever had, and that's worse than shoveling horse shit all day. Excuse my language. And I say that not to big up the adult entertainment, uh, the adult entertainment field. I'm just saying, like, I guess it's just a matter of opinion. It's a matter of what you like. I know even recently I've heard people talking about making adult entertainment fully legal. Some people see it as just another drug to hustle. The world's oldest profession. I don't know. Like there's some I'm non-judgmental, and I'm going to be supportive of whoever, and whoever I fall in love with, I fall in love with. That's how I am. Like I don't really care about anybody else's opinion, but whoever I fall in love with, whoever I deal with, whoever I fuck with, excuse my language, but whoever I fuck with, I'm gonna have your back, support you, no matter who you are. Like if I fuck with you, like I fuck with you, and that's how I feel. Like so, and I know there's rumors spreading from that. I know there's rumors spreading from different things, but I don't really care because I know the truth. Like in certain situations, I was just around certain people, and just like I'm not saying like I don't chill with drug dealers anymore, and even if they were, some of them were like I wouldn't say sandbox niggas, but locker room bros. Um, and when I say locker room bros, I mean like high school dudes. Like we were chilling together from high school to like maybe like a year or two ago. But like I'm saying, like as the rumors swirl, that's not the point. The point is like there's different types of people, and I use that extreme situation where even though some people might judge that, some people might love it and judge themselves. Some people might love it from the outside consumer, but not admit to. Some people will loudly say, like Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen is a strong advocate for the field. But as I joke, I'm just saying, like, my whole thing is those different type of individuals, and whether that's a male or female, it's still a different type of individual. Like, just like with myself, like I say, I'm not a serial cheater in a relationship. That's just not my thing. Like, if I'm with you, like I'm with you. And that, like I said, I don't care if you bring home 75 girls and we have a 75 girl orgy. Not saying that that's what I'm looking for or what I'm after. I'm just being honest. Like at the end of the day, like obviously, I know that in my head. I know that the whole time. Like even if we had the greatest menage a trois with J Lo and Holly Berry and Penelope Cruz and Vivica A. Fox and Angela Bassett and throwing some Shaka Khan, Sade, Anita Baker. Uh, the person I came to the party with is who I'm leaving with. 100 times out of 100, like there's nothing like if I'm with you, I'm riding with you, I'm in love with you, and like that emotional attachment can't be broken until we break up for whatever reason. Whether you don't trust my emotional attachment to you, or you outgrow our situation, or you just get bored with our situation, or whatever. Like I'm not a mind reader, so like I said, I feel like I've been in good situations, whether other people thought they were toxic, whether other people thought they were wild, whether other people thought they were boring. It's not their situation. It's not their wants, desires. Like if you want to party all night and we cool, you want to club all night. When I say party, you want to club all night. Like I'm not going to judge you for clubbing. I could care less. That's I mean, like I've broken that down. Like when I was working in going through school, it's like for me, 85% of the time, I'm gonna say, was it I say 75% of the time, I really just wanted to be in the house. And a lot of the time I was here by myself. I ain't have the nice studio toys I got now. I had homework to do, but I just wanted to go home, decompress from the day, and lay on my couch. But I probably had homework to do, so I would do my homework and decompress and lay. And I'm sorry, I put a mouse and a snake terrarium on Friday. Usually they don't last that long, and the snake's not shedding. This is digress situation. The snake's alive. The snake is moving. For whatever reason, that was Friday. I believe that was Friday. It was either Friday or Thursday. I think it was Friday. And this mouse, like the mouse, been in there and just chilling. It's a rat. It's a small rat. Look like it lost weight. It's just doing calisthenics and cardio in there, and like I don't know. But anyway, um, so the snake or the rat was going over to the snake, and I'd be worried about the rat biting the snake. But for whatever reason, the snake ain't eating the rat. I don't know. It ain't shedding. I can say if it was shedding, like, usually like it don't even last a day. I've never seen a mouse last a day. Like, all right, but anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. So I would say like 75% of the time, I just want to come home and it'd be an empty house. Like you would think like that's like the most sad, boring shit on the planet, but like no, I would be chilling. Like I like girls, I love girls. Believe me, I like girls. Like, but like I just come home, I lay on my couch after work, or I lay in my bed now, like and I watch TV or try to focus on TV. But most likely, I'm gonna get on the iPad. I'm gonna get on social media. I'm gonna get on the computer. I'm gonna try to do like the Unreal Engine. I'm gonna try to play with the 3D printer. I'm gonna try to engrave something. I don't know. Like I'm gonna draw something. I don't sit still for too long. I'm gonna do a Fat Boy Fruity. I'm gonna do a Bear Quench Thirst. I'm gonna do a Bear Outdoor Adventure. Like I don't know. Like, and I like video games, but I'm not a big video game boy. Like, and for a while I was reading a lot of books. Like I don't know, outside of my classes and stuff. Like I guess at the end of the school, like the hiatus, I ain't gonna say turn me off from the books because like I still like the knowledge and I still like to read the books. It's just like I haven't gotten full fledged back in the field. So like I'm not gonna say I lost interest in the books. Like I still got books over there I haven't read, but majority of them I have. But anyway, gotta check on Mitch over there. Ty is up there. Anyway, so that's 75% of the time. And then 15% of the time, I had a homie that I used to chill with, and it was like everybody would go to his crib. Like that was the meeting ground. It was like his crib or one of his friends' crib that lives out of state, like between those two spots. Like for my locker room boys, that was the spot for his new afterlife crew. Like his homie out of state was the spot, and the locker room boys might go down there too. Um, but I would say 75% in the house, 15% over there. And that was a chill, laid back. I get to socialize, even though I might not be saying much. I'm chilling, hanging out, doing what I want to do. It's one of those rare times I want to come out the house. And then it'd be those 10% of the times where I'd be wanting to, like, I ain't gonna say go jump off the roof or skydive or nothing like that, but I would consider skydiving. Um, but like those are the times I want to go karaoke or jump on the couch at a lounge or something, not the strip club, just like a lounge or some shit like that. And that's why I would tell my group, even though this has nothing to like my clients and stuff like that. And I might have went over this the cheat day. I was like, you reaching that point where you've been just in the same monotonous routine for 6 months, and it's like, all right, like these wild thoughts are starting to creep in, wild, 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 wild. And it's like, all right, so I don't know. Sometimes you do need some uh tame adult entertainment in your face, and that's a joke. Don't gaslight my jokes. Don't gaslight my jokes. But especially for a single man that spends like a lot of time in this fortress of solitude. And like I said, I'm still taking applications for the role now. I'm still looking for that perfect Mrs. Tariq and that perfect common law wife. Now, that's not a disrespectful thing. It's a commitment thing. We want to last eternity, and even if we don't walk down the aisle, because I don't know in these days and times in the climate, and I'm 40, if it'll last forever. So, like, if we last 7 years in the Commonwealth state, like, we're married. Cohabitating a single abode, we're married, so we're common law. That's longevity. That's longevity, but I'm always stuck on it. But anyway, so my whole point with that little tangent was like, somebody who likes the 75% club, 10% chill at your homie crib, 15% like uh sit still. Like that might not be a good combination. Like for me, I can't say it wouldn't be. For me, like I was starting to say earlier, like I can say for me, I'm a get along guy, and like for me, and I'm not trying to sell myself or nothing. It's just that's who I am, and I know as long as I can trust you, I can trust you. Like I've had a situation that's like I like my car out back. Like you want to take my car, go ahead. Like I brought you here from your crib, and you going out with your people. It's like, all right, go ahead, take my car out. Like I trust you not going to be like doing leaving any stains in the back seat or nothing like that. So it's like, what I mean, um, I've, but like my whole thing is like I said, like, is my 75 in the house gonna bore your 75 at the club? Like if we can still like I've had situations where people have said, like, yo, you way too busy. And I'll be like, yo, I'll always make time for you. Like that's not a problem for me because I barely sleep as it is. And I'm always bouncing off walls. So I don't really get tired. like so me is like I do try to do a lot. I want to do a lot of different projects. Even today, I have planned on different projects, and this wasn't supposed to take this long. Even though I don't think no, I don't know. But like I'll make time. That ain't a problem. Whether it's for my daughter or it's for a significant other, time ain't an issue. Like even with all the projects I want to do, and with as ambitious as I am, time ain't time to make for somebody else ain't like we might have to schedule it. All right, so let's meet up like whatever. But and even like it's funny, like even in this hiatus over the last 14 months, it's like you would think that I would be just, especially if you see my car outside for like a week or two and not moving and nothing like that. But like, if you go on my Instagram page, it's like, all right, well, this dude be every other day he doing something, like he doing something, like he just be in the crib, he just be doing too much. And I would joke when I say that, don't shut down my stuff. Like, all right, we already have a problem with them. We're trying to renegotiate the main affiliate syndication situation, but I don't know, I play too much. But anyway, so, like I'm saying, like, and I've had that question brought up. Like, I've had like people ask me, like, if you got back with one of your exes, how do you think that would go? And I'm like, I think it would be good. I think it would be better than the first time we were together. But the thing is, like, I'm at a different point in my life. Like, even though I still got love for that person, even though I would love that person to death, it's like I'm at a different point in my life. And it's like, if I got with that person, would I bore them to death? And like I said, I'm just realistic like that. I like and like, not that it would ever happen. It might, I can't speak for other people. But my whole thing is like, I can only speak for me. And for me, like, I can spend a month in the house, an entire month in the house, but you'll see me and only go to get like food and stuff like that. But you'll see me doing like 100 different things on social media in my house. And just the stuff you see on social media ain't even everything I'm doing in the house. And I'll be having fun. It's weird. I'll be by myself having fun in the house. So it's like weird, especially in this last like 2 months where like I'm not like barely working at all. Like I don't think I've worked at all in the last 2 months. Like, and anyway, so for me, it would be on something like, no, I think it would be better like at times I was more financially stable, so that would be better. At times I'm more grounded, even though like I do have like sky's the limit uh ambition still and dreams and aspirations. Like in my personal life, like I feel like I'm stable. Like I had a situation where I felt like, a couple of situations where I felt like the relationship brought some excitement to my life and rejuvenated different things like that. But like, I'm still happy by myself. Like I'm not saying I want to be by myself, but I'm not that depressed. I'm not really even bread. Nobody likes me. Oh, woe is me type dude. Like, yo, I got enough to do. Like I like chicks. Like I keep saying, like I always say I like chicks. I love chicks. Like, and I feel like showing be a good time. I'm a chill dude. I'm not a hater. I'm not somebody who's going constantly trying to cause drama. I'm a drama free dude. If you know me, like for the most part, I sit chill and tell jokes. But like I said, I don't know. Like I need to better structure these rants. Like when I'm sorry that we lost our State of the Union address. That even though the State of the Union address is still on the Instagram, I just can't get to the Instagram. We, I don't know. Anyway. So I should have State of the Union addressed the situation. Anyway, I'm gonna try to figure that whole situation out. We're glad that it's still the syndication deal is still intact. We're just in some renegotiations in the syndication. We still have other affiliates to reach other markets, but the main affiliate. And then you got other stuff like the Twitch. We ain't even the Twitch that I don't even know TikTok. We ain't even TikToking yet. I don't, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't even know if I got the whole point of the whole on, but like I'm saying, like the freestyle. And like I'm saying, like in the future, it might be better edited, like maybe like a couple hour podcast, and then edit the good parts down. I don't know. Get the equipment where the whoever's talking the camera, bam, bam, boom, 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 automatically research. But I don't know. Like I'm just saying, like when it comes to that emotional attachment, and I do believe that it'll make the emotional attachment and chemistry. I do believe it will make the relationship better, sex better. But I do think that both males and as well as females can have sex without emotional attachment. Now that was the point. I don't think I spent too much time on that, but that was the point of this rant. But I would still be enjoying just rambling, I guess. But like I said, it's better to have that cross dialogue to get that other perspective and enhance the conversation. And we'll get there one day. Not just people like having the after show without the main show host. I don't know. Anyway, uh, like I said, we just gonna do what we do. I'm gonna probably end this off soon because I didn't plan to be here. I'd be trying to make it an hour. I don't even know how long it's been, but like I think I got a lot of that out clear with a whole bunch of memes, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But you listen to the main point. And like I said, I've watched other podcasters that say like, as time goes on, you'll get better, you'll get more polished, you'll edit more, you'll cut out the you know what I'm saying? So, like even with the brews, I'm trying to add the brews because, you know, for to widen the audience. I'm trying to get that Beyonce, Oprah Winfrey, Democratic, political. I'm joking, like it's I ain't writing that for everybody, whatever. They call it the crossover. They call it the sold out arenas, clubs, club dates. I'm joking. I haven't sold out anything. We're getting there. We're trying to maybe do some speaking engagements, maybe do something because I'm just ranting here. I play a lot, but like like I say, the business mind is different It's the same thing. It's not a dissociative. It's not a. I retreat into myself and I don't know what's going on. It's not a split. It's not a break in. No, it's just like I don't know. Just different parts of me. I'm a complicated man. I'm every man. It's all in me. Check come on. Check out. I'm open to it.